Well, good evening, everyone. This is William K. Murtathon, Witness 1, and welcome to the Saturday Murtathon. Uh, this is going to be more or less an open chat, not much specific going on. I've been puttering around with this setup that I've got here, and I see I've got to get a little bit more over here. Camera got moved around. There, that looks a little bit better. Anyway, so I guess I'll start off with checking what's going on in the weird and wild world of the internet. See what the turds are up to. And he did another recording. And identify the shoe tree kids. So Timothy is still going with that hoax about the shoe tree kids. Some people never learn. Looks like he's in a hotel room this time because of what's going on in the background. So he's still doing his thing. Constitutional lawyers stop letting tyrants. Boy, he got busy all of a sudden. More garbage. So he started up, looks like he started up about an hour ago, and he's been busy ever since. What the hell is this rigmarole about? Now he's calling the coronavirus a biological attack. Oh, Jesus. You do not have to stay home. Do not have to close your business. All right, well, that's good. Tim Holmseth, go out there, and since it's a big hoax, you just get right out there and go outdoors. Go outside and take a deep breath. Just keep taking them. And we go to the other half of this bomb squad. And repeat and repeat. So we got synchronized stupidity going on here. Yeah, that's par for the course. So, yeah, he's on that shoe tree in Oregon. Well, and this also would not be the first time he's threatened a government official. He's done it before. It's just, he seems to think he's untouchable, but one of these days it's going to catch up with him. But for right now, I guess he just, don't really, he's not really saying anything that really isn't worth talking about. He's got back on the Kaylee Anthony case again, which is long over with. It's more or less suspected that the mother had something to do with the death of the child. Now he's saying she's some kind of a Lucifer witch. So the shoe tree, these things are all over the country, but the one that he photographed is a better known one, and people just go out in the middle of the desert and for whatever reason they throw shoes up in the tree. There's no real reason behind it, they just do it. It's just one of those things. It's mostly teenagers and young adults that do it. And there's no plot or seedy thing behind it. It's just something that people do. But he makes this big deal out of it, and gets all the conspiracy people worked up because it's supposed to symbolize sacrificed kids or dead kids and all this malarkey. What the hell is this? Oh, yeah. So that's, I just wonder what, excuse me, there's something that came up here. But you know, other than the usual garbage going on between these two, there's not much going on. Dodger made another video. Haven't got to see it yet. Yeah, there's just Tim's making a big ado out of nothing with these shoe trees. I just, you know, and people get, you know, they get sucked into it. So. Oh boy. Yeah, I did a segment back. I can't remember exactly when it was where I covered this deal with the shoe trees. Yeah, he just for whatever reason keeps on. Yeah, I set this up mostly so you guys could chat with each other because there really isn't much of any substance going on. You know, one of these days I'm going to experiment with uh, turning the live stream off and leaving the channel up and see if the thing. Yeah, yeah. He's just it's another money bag. You know, he's got to pay for that hotel room. Yeah, he's probably in an extended stay hotel. I don't know. Hard to say. But, well. Pay by the hour. Well, you know, I don't know. Yeah, he's probably just using PayPal and Patreon or Patreon to get the donations. Hard to say. You know, and of course his handler is probably footing the bill too, since he's supposed to be wealthy. So it's, you know, he's just mooching off of other people. He can't earn anything himself. He's got to mooch off of other people. Well, he's in a Quality Inn. I already know that. You know, so Quality Inns aren't bad. I stay in them all the time. I mean, you know, it's a decent hotel. You know, you go in, you get a good night's sleep, you get up and you go away. But he's probably paying by the week, um, depending on how long he's going to stay where he's at. It is illegal to say that. The only problem is the government hasn't moved on him yet. It is against the law to falsely state that you are part of a government agency, and that's what he's doing. He's declaring himself as a federal agent or a federal associate or whatever you want to call it, and making money off it. It's a combination of wire fraud and impersonation of government official. You know, it's against the law. You know, and right now with this pandemic going on, the government is concentrating on more important things than, you know, some unemployed dude running around staying in hotels and declaring that he's a prominent government representative of whatever kind he claims to be. You know, so, you know, it's just, the law is there. It's just got to be enforced. And until the law is enforced, he's going to get away with this crap. And he's well, right now they don't, Kev, because of the coronavirus. There's a lot of stuff going around. They just arrested some chick up in New York that had 18 knives on her saying she was the coronavirus. So they got crap like that they have to worry about. And, you know, it's just, they're stretched. You know, so they're not going to, oh, he said it's a biological thing. Let me go back to that. It's kind of, you know, it's his usual crap. But I haven't listened to the audio yet. I just saw the little article he wrote. He writes articles and then he posts a video. You don't have to do what that dumb bitch says, or Government Kate Brown. Identify the shoe tree kids. So he's on the thing about the shoe trees again. And in his article, Stop Letting Tyrants Lie to You, talking to constitutional lawyers, whoever they are. The coronavirus was a biological attack on the Republic launched by Luciferian globalists and their media partners who factually know the U.S. military is raiding their underground layers and tunnels and rescuing the slave children that have been kept in torture chambers. Funny we don't see any of these kids. Essentially, the monsters are all going to be rounded up and executed, so they are going to try anything they can to escape justice. Their latest stunt was the COVID-19 attack, which they launched in hopes that Americans would be too stupid to know the law. Now, he is saying, from a constitutional lawyer, current federal and state law, you do not have to stay home, you do not have to close your business, you are not restricted in your travels, you are not banned from religious assembly. So he says, basically, you can go out there and die if you want to. Which, you know, I'm not going to get into too deep on that, other than, you know, well, Timmy's running around with no mask on. So all I can do is cross my fingers. The following are unlawful orders. Stay at home, close your business, don't go to church, practice social distancing, wear a mask, no interstate travel. I don't know about the interstate travel part. the latest video he did, everybody's traveling. I think there's limitations on certain things, but no governor or lawyer can assign punishment to non-compliance. They can't even blah, 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 blah. So he's basically doing a Kirk Pendergrass. So, you know. No, it is constitutional, but I'm not gonna argue constitutional laws. If Tim says it, it's wrong. um, but it's good advice. I mean, you know, this is not some government plot. It's a pandemic, and if people want to go out there and risk their lives, then that's their prerogative, you know. It looks like the state of Florida is already preparing to start opening up starting Monday. You know, I'm not so sure. I'm waiting to hear if I'm going to be gearing back up to my normal routine or if I'm going down to Broward County Friday. I should have, or not Friday, Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. It's the 7th that I'll be going down there. So let's see, that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, Thursday I'll be in well, wait, you know, there's stores down here that are enforcing the law. It's, you know, you go out and you buy a mask or a scarf or something. I mean, it can't hurt. And what it does is it prevents you from giving somebody else the virus. Is the reason for it, or someone giving you the virus. But it's called an executive order. There is, see, the thing of it is, you know, there is states' rights where the individual states have the right, and there was an executive order that Trump signed to put these into effect, and now all of a sudden he's trying to, I don't know what's going on there. But, you know, the thing of it is, I mean, the protesters are going out there without masks, and they're not practicing social distancing, so they're already violating the mandate, and nobody's arrested anybody that I know of. I mean, a couple of them have died, and so on, but, you know, if you want to go out there and protest. I'm not going to stop you. You have the right to protest, but, you know, if you die because you decided to go out there and protest, then, you know, that's just too darn bad. Well, that's for you people in Michigan to deal with. We have our own restrictions down here in Florida, and people are starting to, you know, whine about it. And we got a Republican governor, so, and they've got a live thing on now. There's a shitload of people in the middle of the road in Huntington Beach, California, because they want to open the beaches out there. What the hell am I afraid of? Well, I don't want to get this damn thing. That's, you know, I'm not really afraid of it. If I go out, I go out. I've been going out and not wearing a mask, so, you know, we're not really that restrictive down here. They're doing social distancing and stuff like that, but we don't have a mandatory mask law down here. And the problem is you can't find the damn things. Well, you guys have to deal with that up there. If, you know, you're in the state of Michigan, I guess you can bitch to the governor up there. But, you know, there is pressure to open up, and a lot of places are going to open up. Michigan probably is the exception. But, you know, I can't argue about Michigan because I don't live in Michigan. I don't know enough about what's going on up there. You know, it's just, guess you're going to have to go to court and tell them let us go outdoors and go out of our houses and do all the things we want to do. So, let's do it that way. Light up the telephone. Well, the whole thing with this virus is a mess. Uh, it's probably going to take months to get the accurate figures. Uh, the latest I saw, I think it's nationally around 66,000, maybe a little more than that. And we're well over 1 million cases. So, yeah, it's just like everything else, they report unemployment so many percent, and then a month and a half later they revise the figures. So there's probably going to be revisions of all of this. Well, that's your choice, Mary. If you don't want to comply, But remember, they have the right to refuse business. So if you go in there without wearing a mask, and if they want you to wear a mask and you don't wear it, they can tell you bye. Because it's a private, it's a private, non-governmental thing, and if they want to refuse service, they can kick you out of the store. Yeah, there is a story about the test kits were contaminated in one case. So it's just all screwed up. I don't know what's just gonna have to take it one day at a time. That's all you can do is just hope that you live one more day, one more hour, one more minute, so on and so forth. Hi, Gray. I'm doing fine. Phil McConnell's still under house arrest. He lost most of what he wanted and got some of what he wanted in the modification hearing that took place on Thursday. He can go out for car rides 3 times a week for 2 hours at a time, but he's got to notify the person handling his house arrest that they're going on the rides. He can't interact with anybody while in the car and stuff like that. He can't drive. And he wanted to be able to write letters on the computer without internet access, and that was denied. And they had additional restrictions. He can go out in the front yard, but he can't talk to anybody, and his son has to be with him. He can't go out alone. So there's all, he's basically in the same place. Timothy, about an hour ago, made a video out of a hotel somewhere. I think it's a Quality Inn by the looks of the room. So he's getting into this conspiracy theory about trees. So that's basically where we're at on that. As far as new information out of court, I'm not going to be able to have anything until Monday because everything's closed over the weekend. I've got several inquiries out, and I'm going to be making a couple more on Monday. Because he's got a calendar call coming up on Thursday, Phil McConnell does, and I got to find out if I'm going to be going down to Fort Lauderdale or not. Because if they're going to do it by phone, it may not be worth the trouble to go down there. But I'm going to play that by ear. So I should have some information by Tuesday at the latest. Well, Michigan County approves hazard pay for the police and first responders. So we're getting Michigan news on Twitter. Believe it or not, I see it. From what I understand, they're looking into it. Uh, it's all confusing. This is something relatively new for the courts with this Zoom. They don't know. They didn't know about that much about it, which I'm surprised they didn't learn. It's one of the reasons I don't like Zoom. It does not have any security at all. So, gonna have to wait and see what comes up with that. Piedmont Park in Atlanta's got a bunch of people walking around. Of course, Atlanta and Georgia's opened back up. Well, yeah, you can write down to the state or call up the state attorney's office and tell them, find out what's going on with this thing. Because it helps to have a lot of people calling and finding out, you know, are people that are not a party to the action allowed to be listening in on these calls. So that ought to be interesting. Well, I don't live in Chicago, so I wouldn't know that. What the hell is all this? And again, we're starting the politics tonight. Oh well. I'm gonna let you guys run the chat. I'm just gonna. I've done exactly that, and I've basically told the Broward County Court that I am requesting FOIA and all information, and what they're doing is they're going through and finding out how they're going to comply with it. Because I don't know if they even, if they transcribed the Zoom conference or it was recorded and I can get it on a DVD. That's what I'm waiting to find out. Because they have not used Zoom to this extent in criminal cases prior to the pandemic, so now they're having to do catch up. Well, in that part of the country, I don't think they do. I think New York State, Connecticut, and the East Coast states in the immediate metropolitan area are doing some cooperative stuff as far as determining how they're going to handle the reopening in their individual jurisdictions. I don't know what Florida's doing as far as working with adjacent states. I think there's some communication with Georgia. I don't know about Alabama or Louisiana or any of that. So I think a lot of stuff in Florida is going to happen on Monday. They opened Jacksonville Beach up, and what they're going to do is they're going to open up beaches down here except for Broward County and Miami-Dade, because that's the hot spot for the diseases down there. So I think that area they're going to do it more or less by region in Florida. Walt Disney World and the theme parks may not open this year at all. Um, they might try and get them open by Christmas, but I wouldn't hold my breath. You know, people that have reservations for Disney World, Universal, SeaWorld, or any of that, they may want to, you know, if they can bail and get their money back, they may want to do that. You know, because the airport right now, we're at 5% traffic right now as compared to a month ago. I mean, the airport basically is operating on skeleton crews and everything else. I know I'm not going to be going anywhere probably for the next 3 months because that operation got shut down. So I'm going to have to wait and see if my traveling days are done or what's going to happen. Because I may just be in full retirement now and not doing anything except, you know, trying to get enough money to go cover some of these legal cases. Because once this virus is over, these cases are going to, all hell's going to break loose. Well, Quality Inn really isn't that bad. It's a halfway decent hotel. I've stayed in enough of the damn things since I was on the road. Yeah, it's got free Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So it's just not a bad place. Oh yeah, there's the uh, the employment in Florida right now is running about 25%. They can't even get an accurate number because nobody can report. The system is crap down here. Um, you know, there's people that have been unemployed for a month that can't even get into the system to file. It's not even supposed to be up and running again until Monday because they had to get a bunch of IT people in there and straighten it out, and they had to run around and try and find people that know COBOL of all things because most of the unemployment computers are on COBOL, which is an ancient, basic computer language. Oh yeah, I was on a daily basis. I was out there, but all of a sudden everything come to a screeching halt in April. So, very first day in April, they canceled everything. They said, "Oh, we're shutting down until, you know, because it's too much of a pain in the ass for what they have to do." So we shut everything down. I've been doing some work out of the house for them, but it's other than that, they're really, you know, it's really slowed down because there's a lot that we cannot do when everybody's stuck in a house. So basically, everything's kind of on hold, and there's not much in my part of this thing that I can do. So I'm just kind of idle. About 2 or 3 times a week, I get a little busy, but you know, not that much. Why am I in that part? Well, it would appear by the way the article was written is he's saying you don't have to follow the orders, that it's unconstitutional. You know, so all of a sudden Tim Homseth has become an expert on constitutional law. Um, and he's defying the president because the president is responsible for a lot of these executive orders. So I don't know, you know, this whole thing is mixed up. You know, everybody's running around doing their own thing, so it's kind of hard to keep track of who's doing what. Hi, Marty. Welcome to the chat. This is kind of an informal chat tonight. Not much going on, so we're just, I'm basically just eyeing the chat, see what the conversation's about. Uh, Timmy made another video. Dodger made another video. And Timmy and his handler are posting a bunch of conspiracy crap, and that's about it. So it's typical night. Everybody is getting cabin fever being in their houses, and you got people out in California bitching because they can't go to the beach. Well, that's up to the lawyers to argue. I don't have a dog in the hunt, so. Timmy is saying, if you want to run around and ignore the orders, you have a right to do it. So I guess, Timmy won on that one. I just, they're just going to have to, if there's going to be pressure increasing every day to open things back up. So I would, still, what I would probably do is call Cornell University. I usually use them for my consultations, so I would call them. But I could always call Kildale and find out just exactly what they think about it. But, personally, there's nothing I could do about it. If I go strutting out there and get arrested for violating the rules, then it's on me. And I can't afford bail, so I'm not going to take a chance and break the rules. But it's not really that bad down here. Plus, I have the added benefit that I have a little letter that says I'm an essential service. With that letter, I can go anywhere I damn well please in the state of Florida. So I keep that letter over my sun visor. So if they pull me over, I say, "Here, read this." They say, "Okay." I'm not understanding how I managed to get that letter, but I got one. I'd say in about 99% of the time, they may have gotten this one right. I don't know. But, if somebody goes out and the cops pull out the bracelets and say, hey, this guy who's member of the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force said you don't have to do this. I can go out and do what I damn well please. And the cop's going to say, well, you're going to have to argue with the judge on that one. Because it boils down to, in a lot of cases, is it worth going before a judge and risk going to jail? That's where you got to decide whether or not you're going to comply with these orders. Well, right now I'm going to go by my state law. I can't vouch for Michigan or any of these other states. It's an individual choice in the long run whether or not you're going to take a chance and violate whatever it is that you want to call the orders up there. I have read the Constitution, but it's the Constitutional is subject to interpretation. This is why we have lawyers in the first place, is because, you get a constitutional lawyer and, but if you're confident enough that your government officials' orders are not valid and you want to go marching out in violation of whatever the orders are, then do it. You have to decide yourself whether or not you're going to follow these instructions or not. All presidents have gotten into this thing with executive orders. So, and states, that would be their individual constitutions, as long as it doesn't supersede the federal constitution. So, that's where it gets complicated. And personally, if I was in Michigan, I would not be taking any chances. If they tell me I got to stay in my house, then I'll stay in my house. But Florida, it hasn't been that bad. The only thing that's happened is we just, those of us, anybody out there that has a job, basically got thrown out of work for a while, except for a few exceptions. And then on the other side of it, because of what happened with the airline industry, I wound up being home because I can't go anywhere. Because either the destinations have the restrictions or the airlines have restrictions, so on and so forth. There's weird stuff. There's last I checked, airlines were not hauling animals. No dogs or cats are being transported on airlines right now. And all kinds of weird stuff going on with the airlines. Now they're saying if you fly on the major airlines, you got to wear a mask, and they're not going to assign middle seats. So you're either going to get a window seat or an aisle seat if you go on an airplane. So Michigan's water is great. Well, I guess it depends on the city you're in. Because I hear, interesting stories about Flint, Michigan's water. Well, that's true. It's, it has to be constitutional. That's why they make the courts. You go to the court and say this law's unconstitutional, and the justices say, yeah, I agree, that's unconstitutional, and they rescind the law. The problem with that is it takes time. And, as an individual, you got to decide whether or not you're going to say, well, the law is unconstitutional, so I'm not going to obey it. Because you may get thrown up in jail whether it's constitutional or not. So you have to decide, are you willing to break the law based on your understanding that it's unconstitutional or not? That's where you go with it. Oh yeah, you got beautiful Great Lakes, and I went up to Lake Michigan a couple of years ago. Yeah, Texas, I think, is starting to open up quite a bit. Yeah, Skippy likes the pace. He's got wooden floors in the trailer, and he just click, 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 click. And we cut his nails, so they're not that long. It's just with a wood floor. He walks all over the damn place. Actually, he goes from the living room to the kitchen, back to the living room, back to the kitchen, back to the living room, back and forth. He's a restless wind. Oops, excuse me. Yeah, Phil McConnell is, or who are we talking about? And the one thing I don't understand is, we got the same problem in Florida. Is what the hell's the deal with boats? I mean, you're practicing social distancing. You're out on a boat. I'm not getting the logic behind that one. I just, they closed boat ramps in Florida. Uh, Not sure if Monday they're opening them back up yet. Uh, I had planned on doing a boat-a-thon, but it's kind of hard to do a boat-a-thon if you can't go to the water. You can sit in the middle of the parking lot and inside the boat, and you can be a barge on dry land, I guess. John Marshall. Seems to be a common enough name. Well, this is cool. I'm going to have to try and put this one in here. Okay, let's go down to here. Display catcher. Okay, don't do that. Nah, that's not going to work. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to download a GIF. Where'd it go? Anyway. Check. Nope. Close enough. Wonder if there's audio with that. Apparently not. Somebody else did this. I can't take the credit for it. Well, the bad thing about wearing white, if you wear it too many times, it's going to show. Um, I don't have any audio. I don't know. He did a video couple hours ago. So I think whoever made this GIF just, you know, I don't think there's audio in here. Actually, I can, let me see, I'll put, no, there's no audio. I put my headset on and there's no audio. Well, that would be too easy because, you know, he's got to be the center of attention and this is his way of doing it. Um, yeah, I tried to frame this the best I could, so I don't know what it's looking like on your end. Because it's YouTube Studio is showing it full frame, so I don't know. No, he's not helping children, and he's actually distracting away from the true cause of what's going on. Because instead of going out and finding out who's really behind some of this stuff and, you know, fighting the actual criminals, you know, he makes up all this fake stuff. Why? Okay, where is image capture? Well, now all of a sudden. Nope. Huh. Well, I did it again. Yeah, I agree, Kev. If he was genuine, he would be taking a different approach, and he sure as hell wouldn't go around violating the law by saying he's some official with the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. No, that's not going to work. What the hell happened to my... Huh. That's weird. Lost my camera again. The label's even gone. Oh, there it is. Yes. When I get the time, I'm going to be trying out the new software I got, because this thing is acting weird. It's too cumbersome, and there's simpler stuff out there. So I'm looking, but I just haven't had the time, because by the time I go to do something, I have to get on the air. So, good night, Martha. Yeah, I agree with you there, Ms. Kennedy. That's all he wants to do is just rake in the money and rake in the attention. His primary goal is attention. He craves attention. He wants to be important. I'm going to listen to this and see what the hell he's talking about. It's only about 6 minutes long. Okay, Timmy, wake up, wakey, wakey, wake up. Ah, there you go.
All right.
All right.
I'll probably wait till it gets to the 30-second marker. Okay, it looks like folks are popping on there. All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
This is Timothy Charles Homeseth on the road with the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. And what I'm going to talk to you about is obviously this COVID-19 thing. I'm just going to address that quickly. It is what it is. It's obviously it was just it's an attack by Luciferian globalists who are trying to tank the greatest president in the history of the United States booming economy. And plus there's some other things that they're doing. So, I mean, that's what it is. That's what the whole COVID bullshit thing is. And I want to address something here. Now, I read on Gateway Pundit that the governor of Oregon, Kate Brown, she's extended a stay-at-home order or something like that until July 6th, even though the state is 40th on the list. It has like 104 deaths in her state of 4 million people. Okay. And if you I don't know if you noticed, but what I titled the video was, you don't have to do what that dumb bitch says, because you don't have to do what that dumb bitch says. I encourage you to go to timothycharleshomeseth.com. I just put up an article. It contains information that came from a high-level source. to me, and it's information from a constitutional lawyer. And so go to timothycharleshomestead.com. It's the top article, and you'll see it. And the long and short of it is, what you're going to learn is you don't have to do what that dumb bitch says. Kate Brown, she can't make laws. No governor can. No governor can. And I'm not being sexist with dumb bitch Kate Brown. If your governor is a male, some pedophile Luciferian, you don't have to do what that pedophile says. That pedophile doesn't make laws for you. The laws come from the Constitution. So go read that. I'm not going to sit here and try to be the expert, but I can assure you, you don't have to do what that dumb bitch says. You're going to find out that you don't have to shut down your business or any of that. You don't have to wear a mask. All this bullshit that dumb bitch says, you don't have to do it. Okay, but I got a bigger issue. I got another issue with Kate Brown. So I'm going to address Kate Brown personally. Kate Brown, you dumb bitch. I see you're wasting this. You're wasting your time acting like you have power that you don't have, playing Eva Braun or some bullshit. Kate Brown, I came out to your state with the task force, and I went out to your shoe trees. And Kate Brown, you dumb bitch, the trees are full of shoes from trafficked children, all the way from larger kids to infants. The shoes are hanging in the trees. You need to find out the identity of every one of those children. A lot of those shoes may still have DNA in them from the child that was wearing the shoes before they were kidnapped, abducted, taken down underground, tortured, and adrenalized, and whatever else they did to them. You dumb bitch. So what you need to do is worry about that. Worry about the shoe trees. Worry about the children that they're trafficking in on the coast. We know all about it. That's what you need to worry about. That's where you need to focus your energy, your time, and attention, is to the children that are being murdered, raped, ritually sacrificed, tortured for adrenochrome, having their organs sold. Oh, yeah, you know all about it, you dumb bitch. So stop acting like coronavirus bullshit. We all know you're lying. We know what you're doing. You are outed along with your other scumbag governors.
Yeah, I just it was a 6-minute thing, but I just went ahead and shut it off. It's the same thing he always does. He completely distorts the story of the shoe trees. He does not research because it doesn't fit his narrative. Well, let me get the cam back on. But this Tim has a one-track mind. He's on this coronavirus conspiracy, this conspiracy, that conspiracy. Now he's saying that man, this is all screwed up. I'm having to fix this here. Got all killed her. There, I think I got it back. Boom. But it's the same thing he does. Yeah, over and over and over again. He just does these same theories. And I just I played a little bit of it so you knew what it was about. I don't know what the hoop tree is, but from what I understand, it's people just for whatever reason they go out in the desert and they throw shoes up on the tree. It's just something people do. There's trees all over the country. So but it gets him. He's got a following. He's got more people than I got. So I guess lying is profitable. I just don't do it. But he has no quarrel with it. It's obvious that he lies about everything, but he's comfortable with it. So there's not a hell of a lot you can do if he's comfortable with lying. He's just going to keep doing it. And it doesn't matter if you prove he's lying it, he's just going to keep it up. Because he's been proven to be a liar time and time and time and time again, and he just keeps it up. He ignores it. I have never seen anybody lie like he does and just gets away with it. Yeah, I played this last night. I just QAnon devotee went to New York City and said she was the coronavirus. Weird. I've seen shoes up on power lines and stuff like that. Uh, there was all kinds of explanations as to why it was. They said it was gangs marking their territory, and all kinds of explanations why people throw shoes up into trees. But, you know, Tim Holseth has taken it to a whole new level, coming up with some of the garbage. Yeah, he's a virus, all right. It's just, he is something else. Yeah, well, that one shoe tree he did out there, it's a famous landmark. Everybody knows it. That particular tree, everybody's known about it for decades. So, it's nothing new. It's just that he says there's a cave nearby where they're doing horrible things to kids, and that's the reason for the tree. That the shoes are supposed to be the kids that were abused, sacrificed, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, welcome to the Twilight Zone. Well, the thing of it is, a lot of people do believe him because they come from that crowd. I think Tim Holseth found it one day and said, "Oh, here's a great opportunity," and he got right in the thick of it. Yeah, it's and such blatant lies too, Marty. It's like, it's obvious he's lying. Anybody with any sense knows he's lying, but he gets away with it. He's just got himself mixed up with a bunch of people that believe in that crap. And so, yeah, I don't know what's going on with, I've pretty well given up on that. I mean, it doesn't seem like the authorities want to do anything about it. I do know there's 3 separate investigations going on, but it keeps dragging out. Maybe because of the virus, they've had to put everything on hold. I don't know. Yeah, she was definitely on something. That was a weird thing. Uh, you know, but that's what I'm saying. Tim Holmes says, there's thousands of these people in there, and Tim Holmseth has found himself right in the middle of a adoring crowd, because there's so many of these people that believe in this stuff. And you got that one dude that says he's going to go and eat his neighbors. God, oh man, there's some weirdos in this country. Well, there'd be shoes on every tree in that state if what Tim says is true. I think there's like 2 or 3 trees, but I've driven right past where that tree is. I recognize the area when I did the Google Maps. Good night, Fireman John. I guess Fireman John left. Well, I don't deny, Kev, that we've got things going on with children and these exploiters, but it's not what Timothy says it is. That's that's the big difference here. Timothy's taken a basic fact and created a mountain of lies surrounding it. But that's the key to how he's able to do what he do. He takes a base truth and expands on it, and everybody knows the base truth, and so he gets away with what he does. It's a clever way to espouse propaganda and false narratives and fake news. He does what everybody accuses the mainstream media of doing. So, and it's very difficult to fight something like that. Oh yeah, he's e-begging all over the place. All right. Okay, go let the doggies have their exercise. Um, the doggies gotta have their exercise and fresh air and all that. Okay, Marty, you have a good night. Thanks for coming in. It's just kind of a quiet night today. Typical weekend where not much is going on. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on the air tomorrow night or not, because there isn't enough to keep the show going unless there's something that comes up out of the woodwork, which is unlikely on a weekend. I probably will not be on tomorrow. I may try and do a pre-recorded one, and I am going to work on Facebook because I'm going to be live streaming out of Facebook as well, or streaming to Facebook. Um, Eventually, I'm going to be doing a simulcast. To where I'd be streaming to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. But I got to get the software figured out, and I haven't had time to do it because I've been busy with this stupid thing. But, let's see. Yeah, let's see. We got. I'm gonna see what happens at 10:30 because it's. Yeehaw. Okay, good night, Marty. Thanks for dropping in. And let me see some. I want to. Well, I hit 780 subscribers. That's a record. So, thanks to all who have subscribed. We're moving along at a pretty decent pace. I may wind up getting close to my goal for the main trial. Looks like I'm going to miss it for Thursday. Uh, but I've made alternative plans for Thursday. If they're going to have court access. I won't know that until Monday, but it's unlikely. But in the event that they have public access to the curtain or to the calendar call and it takes place, I will be in Fort Lauderdale. So we'll take this one day at a time. Sharp, I've asked the state attorney that. I contacted the assistant state attorney and asked him if they were allowed to do that, and I'm waiting for an answer. Yeah, Kev, that's been my goal all along. Is that when uh, when there's public access to any of the trials, or if there's any way I can get down there and get access to the trial, I'm going to do it. This calendar call thing is just kind of like a housekeeping thing. It's similar to what happened on Monday, or Friday, I should say. And so it's kind of a one day at a time thing. Um, and so as soon as I know something, before I sign off, I'm going to check Broward one more time. But I think, usually it's rare on the weekends that they do anything. I've seen it done, but it's rare. So we'll check real quick here. Okay. Okay, it's still on the docket for the 7th. Now they suspended non-essential services, but they haven't said anything about okay, let me go down and see if they're what's the latest, because they do updates. And let's see. Last press release was on the 23rd. And it's just about passports. So it does not look so they haven't made any announcements about whether or not they're going to open the court up Monday. So I'm going to have to check into it. Hello, Levi. Welcome to the show. What's left of it. Okay, we've got
First off,
See. Show more. Okay, that one's copyrighted, so I can't play it, but what I'll do is I'll link it. This Dodger made another video 16 hours ago, but he's got copyrighted music in it and I can't use it because of the way I've got this channel set up. Another classic from Mr. Dodger. I'm gonna let it run with no audio and see what he's done here. Yeah, I'll watch that when I go off the air. That looks like it's going to be pretty good. He's got Phil McConnell in his pink shorts and somebody else with a weird wig on. Everybody's dancing in pink shorts. Yeah, it looks like a good one. I'll have to play it with the audio on after the show so I can get the full atmospherics. Well, it depends. You know, as far as Spiel getting his bond revoked, it's going to depend on what the rules are on these bond things, or on these Zoom hearings. I spent all day Friday trying to track down what the position of the state is, and half of the people aren't answering their phones because they're not at work. So I got to see if I can get a hold of somebody on Monday. We shall see what we shall see. Well, nobody wants to lose their revenue stream, but yeah, it's going to come a point where he's not generating enough revenue to make it worthwhile. Yeah, a lot of people do that DNA testing. Well, that's what they're trying to figure out. Because Kim is aware of the photographs, from what I understand. And I believe that they're checking into how those pictures came about. If it was a public key that was given out of the Zoom where just about anybody that could got in there, all someone has to do is do a pinch screen and they've got a picture. That's the only thing I can figure out. Well, I imagine he is. He's a typical sovereign citizen. They don't believe in the law. If he thinks, you know, he's very defiant, but in the end, depending on how strong of a case they've got, his defiance may not bode well. He managed to get a level 1 monitoring, which is unusual in this particular kind of case. So state of Florida does not trust Phil McConnell at all. Because he's got a lot of restrictions. So, what the hell this thing does? I guess it's just rotates. Got a new case for my other phone, and it's one of these odder things, and it's just trying to figure out how it works. Well, they say they want to come up with a different system, and they haven't quite figured out. Apparently, they want to do away with due process. They get people tried and convicted without even taking them to court. They just say, you're guilty. Send you down to Gitmo. They want to do precisely what they're accusing others of doing. So I don't understand the whole thing. Yeah, Levi, he can only be online for Zoom hearings. His son has to monitor the computer and so on and so forth. He's restricted in that respect. And, I don't think he said much of anything in the hearing. He was just there. I have not gotten either a recording or a transcript of the hearing yet in order to find out exactly what went on down there. That's what's so irritating. This is a whole brand new situation that one has to go through when getting public information requests. So I'll have to see how they're going to handle the requests when I find out how to get my hands on a DVD. This is the Casey Anthony case all over again because they were on new ground with that case, and now we're on new ground with this one. But we have the sunshine laws that they have to comply with, so they're going to have to come up with some way of disclosing the proceedings. Alrighty. Let's see. Uh, well, what there is, which hearing are you talking about? Field's hearing, or are you guys discussing another one? Ooh, excuse me. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was funny. I keep coming across that story when I'm doing research on Zoom hearings that people getting a little bit overly casual with the Zoom hearings. And that was a funny story. Hmm. Boy, the poor people tuning in, that they're going to get a long period of silence. Sorry about that, folks. But there really is nothing going on tonight. I'm going to be closing down here at midnight, I think, my time. 2 hours seems to about do it for this. One thing I'm going to do when I log off, I'm going to start doing software tests and the new software, um, which is primarily going to be for simulcasting. I need to be able to set up for streaming over on Facebook. So anybody that's on Facebook might want to, check out. I'll try and figure out the simplest way of promoting my Facebook channel. And if I can get people to like and subscribe to this channel so we can keep building it up, the more the merrier. It will help things along if I can get over that 1,000 subscriber hump. Because that'll open up a lot of options for me when it comes time to cover the court cases. We do have the Cynthia Absug case coming up. We got this case in Kentucky with this woman and her kids, and now it looks like we're going to have a case out in New York City. I'm pretty sure they're going to resolve that one in a hurry. Because that girl, she's not even a fruitcake. I'm probably buying her out. But we'll see. We'll know Monday. Because I'm going to have my work cut out for me on Monday. And again, there will probably not be a live stream on Sunday. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the rest of the week yet. As I do, Monday looks like it's going to be a little busy, but I'll see if I can get in a short live stream, or not live stream, but a short stream to keep everybody updated and anything that may develop on Monday. In my opinion, if they get big enough to come to the government's attention, I think there will be a crackdown. Right now, they're all small potatoes, and the government just seems to have not much going on, much interest in it. They have more important things on their agenda right now, so, Tim Holmes is just another one of tens of thousands of nuts running around with these conspiracy theories, so... Now, her case is still under investigation. They have not dropped that. Again, all these cases that are being investigated, some of it is due to, in the case of the Absug case, since he's connected to that, they're going to let the Absug case get resolved first, and then they may start using whatever evidence came out in that trial in the investigation of this woman from Arkansas, and then that case will start up. And the same holds true of the Kentucky case. I think they're going to let the states get these cases off the docket and see what the result is, and then they can use the evidence of these cases to go the next level up. And that's this woman in Arkansas, Zabby Field McConnell again, and even this time, Dr. Goodvides might find himself on the government radar, along with Tim Holmseth and some other people. Yeah, it is a boring show tonight, mommies. There wasn't much going on. Maybe now you're in here, things will get livened up. But, it's just an informal chat. Nothing spectacular. I'm a little surprised you even tuned in. I think your key is stuck. You say the same thing and over again. It kind of reminds me of that groove in the record where you go chikong, chikong, chikong. Yeah, I don't know who it is. Somebody just decided to come in. Yeah, they always wait until I'm about to go off the air and then they come in. It's funnier as shit. I think they wake up from a drunken sleep at midnight or something. That's the only thing I can figure. So we'll see how long this plays out. Well, we'll find out how much of a hero the government thinks of her. And thanks to Sarah Dunklin, Cynthia Absug has lost her children permanently this time. So that wasn't such, she was a big help there. But time will tell. It's up to the courts. Yeah. And I will be right back. Okay, let's see what's going on. Well, mommy follies, I guess you haven't been paying attention. Timothy Charles Homseth for the past 10 years has been stalking me. He's made false accusations against me that he refuses to retract. That's number one. Number two is Timothy Charles Homseth is lying about this Pentagon pedophile task force. It does not exist. And he is impersonating a government official by saying that it exists. He's making money off the Pentagon pedophile task force hoax, which is a class 1 felony, and it's wire fraud. And Field McConnell is doing the same thing. Field McConnell threatened the life of the mother of 3. So, and apparently you're not listening. Of course, you never listen anyway, regardless of the stuff. You know, I'd like to ask you something. Why do you come in here? You know, why do you come in to this channel? You do it every time I'm on the air. You're in here. You know, why is that? You know, and you never answer the question. You haven't answered any of my questions in the past. You know, why aren't you over commenting on the high command or commenting on Tim's Facebook? Why here? Boy, I tell you, the troll is all over the map tonight. So I'm just going to sit here and watch this troll make a fool of itself. And don't worry, even if you remove your chat, I have a way of archiving, so all your material's not going to go away. You know, for some reason, when you leave, you take your comments with you, and I don't know why you do that. I don't know what you're scared of. You know, if you believe in what you say, you wouldn't delete your stuff every time you sign off. No, it's not. Mommy's Follies has been in here before. I've got it on archive. So don't lie to me, mommies. And again, why do you keep coming in here? Or why are you in here now? If you want to deny you've never been here, then fine. Why are you here now? You know, you're violating YouTube's terms of service because you're engaging in harassment. Yeah, that's what I hear for the past 15 years from lying Tim Homseth that there's all this stuff. Not that I give a flying fuck, but that's the way it goes. Archive away. I got over 5,000 pages of Tim Homseth and probably half that on Field McConnell. So I guess everybody wants to do. Now, if you want to use the name of a dead woman, you're welcome to do it. You know, I don't care. Because you're not who the screen name says you are. You need to pick up the pace of the conversation here a little bit, mommies. You know, you're just kind of, yeah, a dead woman. You know, as in taking a dirt nap, pushing daisies. There was a Zoom hearing on the 30th. It was a request for modification of Phil McConnell's release. And Phil McConnell, I think, got maybe one minor thing out of it. I have no idea where she's at. You know, I don't know where Alex is at. I'm not her babysitter. What case is Timothy Homseth's case? Um, Timothy Homseth barged into the Kaylee Anthony, or the case, the Haley Cummings case, and he wasn't wanted there. I don't know where he went. Everybody's got a life of his own. I don't keep track of him. Mommy's has yet to answer any of my questions. Same old pattern. I ask Mommy's questions and Mommy's doesn't answer them. I find that rather weird. But seems to be that this troll comes in here about the same time every night. She was there because she was a material witness for the court that Timothy Homseth bailed on. Timothy, like the little coward he is, couldn't face justice and ran away like a scared little child and hid under his little rock. Well, I'll ask again for the fourth time. Why are you here? And I'm waiting for your answer. Still waiting. Still waiting. And again, you don't answer my question. Why are you here? Kind of taking you a little time to think of an answer, aren't we? Well, we don't know whether she was or not because Tim Homseth didn't show up. Yeah, he ain't blustering me. You're just here to troll, I guess is what you want to call it. It's funny. I use my real name, but you don't. You come in here under some fake troll name. I find that rather interesting. What you're doing, mommies, is known as gaslighting. Just showing how immature you are. You're not blustering me. I'm just sitting here watching to see where you go. Collecting evidence. Well, you'll have to ask her that yourself. I personally, I don't see anything, you know, a person is a person. I don't judge people by their race and if they're attracted to one race or not. What she does is her own business. You know, why do you care? Which is another, you still haven't answered my other question, but you know, that's fine. Came up with some non-answer. Now, what is your real name? That would be an interesting question to have answered. My real name is out there. Yours isn't. Oh boy. Kind of reminds me of Kitty. I love these people. Well, 2 hours, nothing out of Tin Hat Timmy. And nope, everybody quieted down. The house was sold in a short sale, which is one step away from foreclosure. It was an alternative that the government came up with back in the big crash because tens of millions of people had their homes foreclosed on. And yeah, I'll bet it is. Well, you know, first name anyway. Well, we don't know if Tim doesn't drink or not. He says he doesn't, but you know, he acts like half the time he's two shits in the wind, so you never know. Golden, he or she doesn't bug me a bit. It's just, you know. Well, I didn't cry, but I'm not exactly happy that I lost everything I worked for the last 40 years because of people like you who went around and trashed my business, made false accusations that made me unemployable. You know, when, you know, Tim got what he wanted. He got me bankrupt. I can't make any money. I can't get a job because of the things he puts on the internet. So I'm, you know, all I can do is collect Social Security. So you and Tim ought to be real happy. I am dealing with it. You know, how would you like it if it happened to you? You know, if you had somebody lie about you for 12 years, accuse you of things that you never did, I suppose you'd be fine with it. You would be fine that you can't get a job because if your employer goes on the internet to check your background, they're going to see all the stuff that Tim Holmseth has written about me for the last 12 years. You know, I guess you don't mind that. You don't mind the fact that a pathological liar that can't even hold down a job has lied about me for 12 years and has threatened the life of a mother of 3 children. You know, it's amazing that people believe this clown. But it's really too bad, actually. But that's the way of the world. But this Mommy Follies person doesn't have a life where she feels that she has to come in here and troll this channel. You know, and again, I got 17 people on here. And one of them, at least one of them is this troll. So 16 people. So, it's funny. Huh. That's funny. Boy, you got this obsession about Levi. And again, you don't mind people being lied to and having their reputations destroyed unfairly because some idiot pretends he's a journalist and goes around accusing people of things that they're not guilty of. You know, doesn't say very much about you. You do know, mommies, that Tim Holmseth lost the support of someone who was loyal to him for over 15 years. That's how bad he's gotten. That person supported Tim right up until 2 months ago. And now she's gone her own separate ways. So he may have all these new people on Facebook and elsewhere, but the people that he could have trusted with no problems at all have abandoned him. All his long-term friends have left. So let's see what. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm talking about Timothy Charles Bullshit Holmseth. Because Timothy Charles Bullshit Holmseth is not a spokesperson for any government agency. The PPTF does not exist. No, I'm not making up facts. It's just that the woman deserves her right to privacy. I will tell you that she stated it by using a username by the name of Teslana, Teslanna, and you can go back through all of my broadcasts, and it's right there. She posted it right there on this very chat that she no longer believes in Tim Holmseth, and you know. Oh, guess who else? Oh, since you brought that up, guess who else? Cusses a lot, and I got the YouTube right here. So let me. You need to listen to the video that was made today by Timothy Charles Holmseth. I think you'll hear him say bullshit, bitch, bullshit, bitch. That's from Timothy Charles Holmseth. So, you know, you talk about me cussing, go talk to Timothy Holmseth, the bullshit artist in the hotel room. You know, little bit of a hypocrite here, and it's also why I've got the age restriction on this channel. Yeah, I'm a foul mouth. So is Tim Holmseth. He's used the same words that I use. Even 2 hours ago, he used bullshit about 6 times in his video that only lasted 6 minutes. Go over and listen to the video. Tell you what. I'll save you the trouble. I'll share the link. Okay. There you go, mommy pollies. If you want to hear some cuss words, there you go. Listen to that one. Yeah, Timmy can afford to travel because he's mooching off of other people. He can't do it on his own. I don't care if he travels or not. He's going out there sucking money out of fools that believe this bullshit he puts out. I don't feel sorry for these people anymore. If they're that stupid to believe what Tim Holmes says, they deserve to lose their money. I laugh at these people. There is no such thing as the high command. He has no immunity. It doesn't exist. You can sit there and say, you can sit there and say it until you're blue in the face, but it doesn't exist. Yeah, he won the Bullshit Artist of the Year award. You are an absolute gullible fool, mommies. Absolutely gullible. Sad to know that there's people as stupid as you in the world. Timothy Charles Holmes, the award-winning bullshit artist. He produces so much bullshit, you have to have a tractor trailer to haul it all. And even then, you're going to have to go out and buy a fleet of them. What, does he think he's going to hump Melania Trump? Melania Trump, never heard of him. Timothy Charles Holmes says it's the biggest fucking fraud in the country. The press secretary for an alleged government agency has to do live streams from a hotel room in his undershirt. That's pathetic. I gotta love this. Yeah, this troll is boring tonight. I kept going for an extra half hour for nothing. No revelations here. That's funny. I gave Mommy's Follies the link to Tim Holmes' YouTube, and she's still here. Must be she doesn't like Tim as much as she says she does. Surprised he hasn't passed out by now. No, and it's not propaganda. I'm exercising that thing called the First Amendment, mommies. I guess you have a problem with that. Field is under house arrest. He's remanded to the custody of his son. He's under a level 1 monitoring. Has to wear a GPS ankle bracelet. He has a lot of restrictions, and he cannot be on the internet. And there are other restrictions that he has not obeyed yet. And if he doesn't get off his ass and get this stuff taken care of, he's probably going to find himself back in lockup. Uh, why doesn't Tim Homseth get a job at McDonald's? Yeah, I'm 69 years old. It's, you know. And again, because of Timothy Charles Homseth, I can't get a job at any place like McDonald's because they do background checks. And with everything that Tim Homseth and his other people out there, I cannot get a job, even one that pays the minimum wage. So. I have no idea where Art Harris is. I don't pay attention to Art Harris. Shoot, I haven't heard anything about Art Harris since the Kaylee Anthony case and a little bit of the Haley Cummins case. Don't know. I have no idea where William Staub is. Probably still down in Fort Lauderdale for all I know. I don't know. Don't pay attention to him. Yeah, you're asking me questions about things I know nothing about. I don't know where any of these people are. This is the same pattern as last night. Exact same pattern. Leonard Padilla's probably back out in Arizona. I don't know where he's at. Why don't you ask Timothy Homseth? He seems to know it all. You know, he claims to know all this stuff and have dossiers, so maybe he can find out where they're at. Boy, somebody's been hitting the sauce tonight. Just like clockwork. Every live stream about midnight, this person shows up. That might explain why all the channels are dead. You keep asking questions about people I have no idea where they're at. I don't know why you keep asking the questions. I don't know where any of these damn people are. They're probably minding their own damn business, which is something you can't seem to do. Hello, Loyal Star. Welcome to what's left of the chat. Got ourselves a troll in here, acting like the moron that they are. But, you know, I figured I'd hold over the chat just for entertainment and evidence grabbing purposes. Not lying about that, because Tim is jealous of Levi Page. It's obvious. He's obsessed with Levi Page. You know, Homseth is mad he can't make headway into the live stream media, so he figures if he can't get in on it, he's going to try and make it so Levi can't get on it, and it didn't work. So instead, Tim Homseth and his fake cronies have to come in here and disrupt me, which, you know, All you're doing is providing entertainment and evidence. What? Timmy's not jealous of himself? That's amazing. Do, 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 do. Sovereign Citizens is a terrorist movement. It's classified as domestic terrorist. Yeah. No. No, I didn't. You'd have to give me a link to that one. Probably is jealous of Jeremiah Regan, though. La 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 la. Do, 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 do. Oh, Tim Olseth is the one that's a liar. He outlies everybody. There's no one that lies more than Tim Olseth. He's the king of the lying hill. Mayor of Bullshit City. That's Timothy Holmseth. Ooh, somebody's getting worked up. We got a gangbang going on here. Well, I'm glad you're paying attention to what Jeremiah is or is not doing. Didn't know it was your business. Well, this chat has turned real interesting real quick. Must be a lot of people having cabin fever tonight. Why don't you ask Levi Page that? Why ask me? It's none of my business who paid for what or who didn't pay for what. I frankly don't care. You seem to care a lot. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't. I don't mind it. Because I got plenty to do here. I don't need to be out running around. And I get to entertain trolls. I don't know. Why don't you ask her that? Why don't you ask people? Yeah, why ask me all these questions? Why not ask the people you're talking about? Or are you scared to do that? You know, she's got a public Twitter account. You can go over there and, come up with a sock account and you can ask her all the questions you want. It's not my damn business, who pays for what or how she got her money. Oh, that was a pretty good job somebody did. Angela in Florida is deceased. Well, I'll tell you what, Mary, or Mommy's Follies. Let me go back on camera here. You just don't seem because you want to talk about. Oh, I know where it is. Right there. Boom. The proof of what's being said about Tim Holmseth is right here in the beginning of this book. He talks about all kinds of sex and wild things in this book, in his own words. Oh, now that I show you proof, you go away. Bye. I figured if I pulled that book out, that would scare him off. Because it's right, all you have to do, I have Tim Holmseth in his own words, and I read word for word the beginning of that book. And so his words are right there. Oh God, now he's a prophet. Oh my God. I always said Tim Holmseth was in a cult, and this Mommy's Follies just proved it. God almighty, a prophet. Thou shalt not worship false prophets. You ever read the Bible? Yeah, they ought to make a golden statue of Tim on a cow's body and everybody can worship him. I thought you were leaving. Oh, these people are a trip, I'll tell you. I don't know who it is behind You know, somebody has to come in here and pretend to be a dead woman. I think that's kind of silly. But she does this all the time. I know who it is. Oh, that'd be interesting. We had a family reunion on my chat. Hope it works out for you guys. Now that DNA testing is getting to be quite the thing. I tell you, I go out and I buy this stupid atomic clock, and it's like 3 hours off. Jeez. I gotta quit. That's wrong, damn. T plus 3 hours. And go down here. Yeah, T plus 3 hours. So we're done with that. No, it's an analog clock. It's saying it's 20 after 3 in the morning, and it's only, and my computer says 12:40. But it's one of these sharp atomic clocks. The WWB is supposed to send a signal to it, and there's no way to manually set this thing. So I basically got a useless clock hanging up on my wall. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But this is the last time I buy one of these atomic clocks. They're a piece of crap. I'm just going to go out and get a cheap old analog clock and stick up there. Yeah, I got the one on my computer, so it's not like it's a big deal. It's just that, it's a nice big clock, and I figure I could glance up to it every once in a while, but, it's showing the wrong damn time. Phew. Alrighty then, I think we've dispensed with the troll. So with that, oh geez, all this time I didn't have the thing on camera. Oh well. I pulled out Timmy's book, and I wasn't even on camera. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Alright, I'm gonna call this a wrap tonight. I thank you all for coming in, even the troll who provided a little entertainment for about 40 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to be on the air tomorrow night or not. Depends on what happens with the software and if there's anything interesting that comes up that makes the chat worthwhile. Yeah, good old Timmy. He came up with an excuse for that in a hurry. But, that's what it is. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. If anything comes up tomorrow, I'll be back on the air live. I may try and make a recording or something along that. But we'll see how it goes. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. And have a good rest of your weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and all that good stuff. This is William K. Murtathon, Witness 1. Have a good one. Bye.